Hi everybody and welcome to this tutorial video for Rise of the Necromancers. In this video we are going to take a look at city combat. So let's take a look at a city and I'll explain how they work. As you can see, the city has two towers. This means that the city has two wounds, so you need to inflict two wounds on the city to conquer it. Other cities have more towers and some cities have no towers at all, as I will show you later. Below the city you can see that it says 4 times 3, which means that this city has 4 power 3 attacks. Next to these numbers you can see a scroll and a greater corpse, and this means that whenever you tax this city, you get a scroll and a greater corpse. The scroll and the greater corpse also indicates that this city is worth 2 dominion counters. So if you conquer the city, you get to place 2 dominion counters on it. Let's take a look at a few other cities. Here you can see a city with 0 wounds, so you won't even have to wound this city to conquer it. Your necromancer just has to survive. And the city only has a single power 1 attack, and it will grant you 1 dark water if you tax it. It will give you 1 dominion counter, since there is only 1 resource and or corpse symbol in the scroll below the city. Finally, here we have one of the really big cities. It has 4 wounds with 4 towers, as you can see, and it has 4 power 4 attacks. It will give you 3 dominion counters if you conquer it, and you can see that you will get a lesser corpse, a greater corpse, and an Ica if you tax it. Now let's see what happens if you attack a city. Here the Black Necromancer has moved into a city space, and as you can see the city has 1 tower, which means 1 wound, and it has 2 power 1 attacks. The Necromancer has a Bone Sickle, an item which grants him an extra attack, so he has 2 power 2 attacks. He also has a Skeletal Dragon with power 4 and a Zombie with power 1. Now let's roll the dice. All the attacks happen at the same time, since there are no minions here or no necromancers with Ghost Strike. So all the attacks happen at the same time. You can roll for the city first, or you can roll for your necromancer first, your dragon first, that doesn't matter. All the attacks happen at the same time. Here the necromancer rolls a 1 and a 6 for his 2 attacks, and the 1 inflicts a wound since he has power 2. The skeletal dragon rolls a 4, which is also a wound, and the zombie rolls a 2, which is not a wound. So the necromancer and his army has inflicted 2 wounds, and the city only has 1 tower, so he conquers the city. The city also rolls its 2 dice, and it gets a 5 and a 1. The 1 inflicts a wound, and the necromancer has to allocate that wound to either his zombie or his skeletal dragon. He chooses the zombie, of course. So now his army looks like this, and he gets to place a Black Dominion counter on the city. But let's take a look at an even bigger combat. Here the Black Necromancer attacks a city controlled by the pink player, and the pink player has left 2 zombies to defend his city. So now the city has 6 wounds all in all, 4 from the 4 city towers and 2 for the zombies. Let's take a look at the Black Necromancer's army. Here we can see it from left to right. He's got an apprentice with 2 power 2 attacks. Then he's got 3 items that grant him 2 extra attacks and plus 2 power. So he has 3 power 4 attacks. He also has 2 ghosts, a skeletal dragon, and 2 zombies. Furthermore, he has the spell Deathbolt in play, which allows him to make an extra power 3 attack if he spends a scroll. First, he has to roll the attacks for his ghosts, because they have Ghost Strike. And if they inflict a wound, they will take away an attack from the opponent. As you can see, the ghosts roll a 2 and a 5, and this means that one of them inflicts a wound since they have power 3, and the opponent has to allocate that wound immediately. He chooses to allocate that wound to a zombie, as you will see later. The rest of the attacks in the combat can be taken in any order. That makes no difference. Here, the black player rolls for his Enchantress Apprentice, and she gets a 1 and a 6, which means she inflicts another wound, so that is 2 wounds now. Then the black player rolls for his Necromancer, and he gets a 3, a 2, and a 5, which means he inflicts 2 extra wounds, so that is 4 all in all. Now he rolls for his Skeletal Dragon, which also inflicts a wound, and the 2 zombies, which don't inflict any wounds. So the black Necromancer has inflicted 5 wounds, and he needs to inflict 6 to conquer the city. So he chooses to spend a scroll and use his Deathbolt spell. And he needs to roll a 3 or less, and he succeeds, getting a 2. So now he has inflicted the 6 wounds he needed to conquer the city. But the city gets to fight back, as you can see here. One of the zombies has been removed because it was killed by the ghost and does not attack. But the city rolls its 4 power 4 attacks and inflicts 3 wounds, and the remaining zombie also inflicts a wound. So now the black player has to allocate the 4 wounds to his army, and he chooses to allocate the wounds to the 2 ghosts and the 2 zombies. So now his army is decimated, looking like this, but he conquered the city, and he gets to wipe away the 3 pink Dominion counters and the zombies, and then he places his own 3 black Dominion counters. That's it for City Combat. We hope you liked the video, and we hope you'll like the game. Thanks for watching.